Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of DCA Technologies. And I would like to introduce myself as Salman Naim. And I'm a digital growth expert uh, in with an ACCA and Oxford Brookes degree. So I come from an accounting and finance background, with my articles being from Deloitte. So today's session will be about how to create your career path to success. And I would like to actually just come a bit different from a different aspect and perspective of it, which is how we can use LinkedIn to create a network that can help us become successful and succeed, right? So I'll start off with a few basic things, and I'll be sharing uh, a window so we can go one by one into that. Right? Can you see the window? Right. So the first thing that I would like to, uh, we can just raise and just message and send in messages that uh, how many of you can actually see the window, and then we will move forward into the basics of LinkedIn. And I would want to know how many of you already have a LinkedIn. So so this session will be more interactive within the messages. So you guys need to be a little more uh, focused on the messages side as well. Keep sending me, telling me. So you guys, I hope all of you do have uh, LinkedIn, and we shall start with that. Right. So the first thing that requires in that you really need when it comes to LinkedIn is basically LinkedIn is a professional network where you can connect with the right people, and you can connect with like-minded people and people who would be beneficial for you to get you into a job or a business or maybe even learning. So LinkedIn has a few aspects to it. So there is uh, a recruiter search, which they want me to take a quiz for right now. So how it goes is that your title, which is this, when you click on edit, this needs to be something that is expressive, right? So what normally people do is they have a headline that says that they work in a specific company for a specific role. So, or they will write that looking for opportunities. So, what we need to really update today is for growing on LinkedIn and becoming more successful is to have a few keywords input into your headline, which will help other people understand who you are. So when it comes to me, I would like everyone to know that I'm a digital expert in an evolving digital world. So this line, this small line, actually helps me and the people who are searching me understand who I am. So they know that I'm an expert, I'm a digital growth expert, and they also know that I'm from an evolving digital world, which means I'm more uh, uh, I, I am more proactive, right? So this small line is actually something that you really need to understand. So whenever you go for interviews, people would want to know. They would ask, "Tell me about yourself," and we have a story around that. That I am this, I have this skills, I'm really good at this, I'm really good at that. But when it comes to the digital world, where you are, which is pretty much a lot now in since COVID, a lot of things are online. You need to be a little precise about who you are. So I go back to how the internet started, social media, and Twitter was one at a time a really good platform where you only had 140 characters to explain or to message someone. So it really helps. So this headline has to be in within that, and you need to identify yourself, who you are, what you can do, right? So this is one example of my profile that says I'm a digital growth expert in an evolving digital world. I'll show you another profile with from another account that I have, which I use, so that we can have an example. So the next one is that I'm a strategy consultant with an emoji that says that I'm on target. I'm a marketing advisor, which helps people understand that I launch businesses. And then I'm an ex TEDx speaker. So I have been, I spoke once on a TEDx. I do strategy, and I'm a marketing advisor, right? So when people come to my profile, the first thing they see is that, all right, he said he's an TEDx speaker. So I put up a picture over there. Then I had an article in the newspaper saying that using data-driven marketing for healthcare sector, right? And then being creative. These are the TVC. These are the ads that I've worked on, and they can see that. So the next thing that you really need after your profile's headline is to have a uh, rich media featured images. So these are all rich media featured images, which shows that how many people or what I have done in the past. So it shows a kind of portfolio. And this can be in terms of any, when it comes to uh, any career or anything. Maybe you guys would be coming from an accounting career, so you can write about, you can put up a company's logo, or you could put up a screenshot of any Excel document that you had created, and you can write about it, that this is something that you would want people to know about you, or that you have featured. So as accountants today and finance people, we really need to have a, it's not just numbers now, it's more than that. So we need to be more analytical, we need to be more infographic. So this will help people understand that yes, the person who I'm going to contact as a recruitment could be working in as a thing. So now what we need to learn is that the first thing is our title. The title has to be 140 to 150 characters. You need to identify very strong uh, titles. These, I've shown you two examples of the titles. Let me show this. Let me open up the entire screen again and put it across, so that for people who are joining in now can actually view what I'm talking about, right? So these are two profiles of the same person, that is me, right? And we can see how things are. So one shows that I'm a digital growth expert in an evolving digital world. This is basically a new profile that I've been working on to show people and help people learn about what things can be done. And then this is my old profile where I've used it as a strategy consultant, and I've started growing on it. So the first words are do really matter. So let's go through. If someone of you can send me a link of your LinkedIn, so I can review what is being done, and then we can also have a little interactive talk about it, and I can tell you what can be done and how we can make it better. So any one of you can send me a link of your LinkedIn. All right, Jeffin has just sent me a link. I'm opening it up, and right. So when I go to Jeffen's thing, so I really love this image that he has used. It shows that it's very, it shows that it is relevant to a finance or a person who's into uh, helping in with money. So he says he's an account executive at Infitas Designs, and he's a CMA US aspirant, right? So this part could have been, this is good enough, but this is something that is very natural. So you're writing who you are. This is very good. You're an account executive, right? But this industry, this is making you just making you a specialist of a specific industry. So you can, write something that you are an account executive that helps uh, people with bookkeeping, with taxation, or with something else. So you can write another skill that you're good at, so that you can boast about it in the next uh, few parts of your thing. Then the next part is, you see that it's more about, there is the next thing I can see is only your about and the groups you have joined, right? Which are mutual with me. So this part you need to really, this is not your, what you have written here is your about section. I will come back to this. I will show you examples of what I have written, and then we can speak. But see, you do not have a featured uh, place here. So for me, what I did was I wrote an article, how to create a successful growth strategy, right? I really boast about my TEDx speak, then the article that I've written. So, but I wanted people, because I was in growth strategy. So I really need to tell people how they could be successful in growing, creating a growth strategy. So this part was really important for me. And when it comes to this side, it's also the same thing, that I'm using the featured images, the rich media, to help people understand that what I do and what I can do. So the concept of the featured, so please, everyone should try to update their LinkedIn with featured articles that they can write, or you can also at times do something else. Can you please share the screen? Sabana, are you able to see the screen? Because I believe I am sharing. Oh, okay, I'm not. Extremely sorry. Thank you for identifying that. And let me go back again. So let me go back to Mr. Jeffen's profile. I'm sorry about that. I was not sharing and I just got to know. So, Mr. Jeffen's uh, LinkedIn profile shows that he's an accountant by showing an image that is relevant to the finance industry and accounting industry, right? But I was talking about this headline, that it is fairly a good headline, but not an excellent headline, because I believe that telling about which company he works for is not that important. They can go down and learn about it, but this is a place where you can actually stand out by telling that you're an account executive, which can help businesses with, or a tax specialist, or a bookkeeping specialist, or a receivable specialist. So you can write more things inside this place to help you, so people can search for you in different ways. The second part which I was talking about is that he does not have a featured place where he can boast about what he has done, what he thinks, what can be done. So that is where I was showing my profiles, that I have two profiles that I work around with, and they both have featured uh, articles on it. So this rich media really helps your profile stand out to other profiles that do not have this. So, as I've written this article, how to create a successful growth strategy, from aligning your team to defining your goal. Uh, and this is the first part of your thing. So when it goes to the next part, which is your about, this part is actually I over here, Mr. Jeffen has written that he wished to work and develop in the field of finance, management, and accounts, enabling him to add to an organizational goal which offers a prospective growth and progression in terms of gaining knowledge and career development. Right. This is a very old school type of objective that he is putting it out here of his CV. That what is the objective of the CV that he's sending out? But over here, since it's a public profile, it should be more what about what he is. So it should be more story based rather than something. So let me show you an about me, which I wrote a few years ago. So born and raised in, this is about me. So this is going to be specifically about me. So I wrote born and raised in Libya and then later traveling to my homeland, Pakistan. I captured multicultural and multilingual experiences by working with various people. So when you are in the when you are in the UAE or a multicultural, multilingual country, which India is itself, it's a multilingual country with a multi cultural aspect to it. You really need to tell people where you are from, what are your roots, and why are you able to. Why would you be able to work along with them? Because they, a company would be working with it. So then I've written what I do. I've been able to prove my abilities in business growth strategies, digital marketing, display advertising, analytical research, workflow process documentation, communication, team building, creative problem solving, excellent verbal and reporting skills, which have contributed to the meeting of client organizational goals and objectives throughout the professional career. Right. So this is not a very, this is, I would not say that it's an excellent written about me, but it actually has a lot of keywords in it that people are searching for a person who knows workflow process documentation. So, my thing comes up. So it has to be really based on what kind of things people can search for. They can write, they want someone who's who's excellent in receivables. So you can write them. Then I have written again because my career path was into. I was in Deloitte. I worked there. I did my internship for 2 years there, which is article, and then I went into analytics, and then I went into marketing, and then I came into strategy, and that's how my things were. So I had to write, in addition to educational preparation in both business and finance, I have a solid results oriented track record in diverse complex settings in various functions of the business strategy. So from my perspective, I really need to write that I understand different various functions of business, which is I understand marketing, I understand HR, I understand management, I understand operations. So I really need to tell them about that. And then I go back into telling, as a humble person, that it is my sincere belief that my professional accomplishments, as outlined in the profile, provide a solid evidence of leadership traits required by clients. All right, so this is one portion, and then I write about my working style, and then the rest is the skill set that I have been doing. So you need to fill this about you. It needs to be broken down into a few sections of who you are, what you can do. So this is who you are, then what you can do, and then why should they choose you, right? And then you should also write about your working style, that are you a proactive person, are you a go-getter, are you a person who is very detailed oriented, are you a perfectionist? So all these things really matter to people who are searching for you online. Whereas if you go into my second profile, there's another, it's a different, overall, it's a different strategy that was used for it. So in this second strategy, second profile, I'm saying that I'm an experienced consultant with a demonstrated history of working in analytics, marketing, advertising functions, skilled in search engine optimization, performance-based marketing, analytical skills, Shopify. These are, again, as you see, that there are some keywords that I've input into it. And then I've written, I have a strong professional growth. I'm a strong business growth professional with a Bachelor of Science, BS, focused in accounting and finance from Oxford Brookes, and a member of Institute of Public Accountants, Australia. So, and then I wrote, as a growth and strategy consultant for hundreds of SMEs, I've been more creative, more agile, and able to make connections with specialized peers that can't. So then I've written, I'm a thinker who embraces diverse experience and perspectives with leadership style that empowers others with effective communication and collaboration and teamwork. So we need to focus on connecting. Then I've written that what we need to do, why am I here, and I've written that we need to focus on connecting us by our natural motivations to leverage our instincts to help each other. Let's connect here and have a chat about your next goal. So since I'm a growth consultant, I really need to pitch this. So as a person who's looking for a job, this profile is better because in this profile it's more skills oriented. It's more so this is the two differences that I've created between the things. All right, so let's go back to now Mr. Jeffen's profile, where now I think you would be able to understand why is it important to have a more about you section, right? Let me see if there are any questions. Let me go back. All right, so there are no questions. Uh, that means either I'm too boring or maybe it's going all above your head. So, okay. So, Jeffen, if you're there, let me explain to you another thing about your profile. So, your profile picture is is a smart, good-looking picture of you, right? But it shows you a very casual Jeffen. I would rather go for uh, my picture. Here is a very professional headshot that I took from professional photographer, right? And then if you go on to my other profile, this is another picture taken by a friend in the office, and it is just a headshot of me. That is, I'm smiling with a normal casual T-shirt, but you can see there's a office kind of a feeling at the back. So you need to cut out this green side and make it more of who you are as a person. There should be a more facial recognition should be there in your profile. So this is one thing. And now let's go down to the next section uh, of the thing. So what a lot of people miss out is they miss out on writing what they have done. So these are two examples. So this is my current state where I've written I'm a senior consultant. I was a growth marketing manager, and then I've put up a rich media image again. If you don't know how to put it, you can just go to your experience, edit, and then you can add media here. So these could be external documents, photos, sites, videos, or presentations, and you can upload anything from there, right? So if you can see, I've written in my role what I have done. So I've done improvement in onboarding process leading to 126% increase in app information. I've contributed 81 million cost reduction by leading the digital transformation of retail project operations project, right? Increase category share by 9%, right? This is one side of it. And now as from my previous thing where I was a thing. So what I've been doing is that I've helping people build online businesses through e-commerce, right? And here I've written I help people on their journey to build business empires. So on the contrary of both, if you see, I've written something about it. But as an account executive for 2 years, 2.5 years almost, you must have done something that can be valuable. So you must have helped identify cost leakages. You must have identified revenue streams that they can work on. So there are a lot of things that you must have done, which you do not understand, but you need to write them down. I know it's like a show off, but it really helps when it comes to growth. It will help people identify you, that you guys are working really what you guys can do and what can be done. So do not copy paste. I would not recommend copy pasting. I would say whatever you have done, just write that down by speaking to yourself what you have done. So this is one section that needs to be identified. And now, since Infotask does not have a LinkedIn page, that this is something that you can help your company also do. So if they do not have a page, let me check. Infodesk Science. No. So Infodesk does not have. Sorry about my. So see, there are people that are there that work at Infodesk, but it's just that they cannot. They have never created a LinkedIn page. So it really for person like me, what I do is after taking approval from the company, just create one page which you can do from the right side, and you can just create a company page for them and give the owner the access to it as well, but put a logo here. This logo will really reflect how your company that you're working for is. So this will help you actually grow. Let me show. This is a company that exists. So if people go into this, they would see that what the company does, the website, all the addresses, and people who work there. So it would really help you as a whole to look to have a profile that is very appealing, right? Even at Eminence, this you will see that this company has a few other companies along with it. So it's a group of companies, right? And you will be able to see that it's still not really built. So you can just add a few things to it, and it will really help. All right, so this is the part where we're talking about is the experience part, which a lot of people don't write, but you see how much rich media there is. So I've written this. Even if I didn't have anything, what I did was I put the logo of the company. So this is the essence of eminence is a document, right? This is Shopify Plus partners. This is a link to the Shopify Plus partners. I've sent a link to my clients. These are show reels. If I don't have anything, I just added a few more things. This is fine. This part of your education is fine. You're an ACCA, things are fine. Then comes your certifications. My certifications are a bit more. But let's go to the next part, which is very, very important. This is actually the place where you really need to focus on. So the skills and endorsements is something that you need to request a lot of your friends who are on LinkedIn to help you with clicking on it. So if you see that if someone is looking for a digital strategy, I have around 42 people endorsing me saying that my digital strategy is a good thing. I have 41 people saying that I'm good with marketing strategy, 49 people telling me that I'm good with. But if you move on, there is one thing that is important, which is our skills. This is the LinkedIn skill assessment badge. And this skill badge really helps identify that you are a genuine person, that if you've written that you know a skill, then you can take a skill quiz, right? And this skill quiz would help you grow. So for me currently, if let me see, so I have to retake 4. I only have, so I failed in a few. Let me see which ones I failed in. So I failed in Adobe Acrobat, I failed in Adobe Photoshop, I failed in Microsoft Excel, and I failed in Microsoft Power BI. But I really passed in agile methodologies, Google Ads, Google Analytics, PowerPoint, Word, Microsoft Word, and search engine optimization. So there is nothing to say that if you're not good at something, that doesn't really matter. But you really need to take your tests on LinkedIn so that people can actually identify if you are a good resource or not. So let me go back and tell you where it helps. So when I apply for jobs, a lot of jobs require a skill to be placed. So I'll be coming to this in just a few minutes, right? But before that, I would want to go to Mr. Jeffen's profile. Because I'm sorry, Jeffen, this is not to humiliate you or anything. This is just to help you grow, all of us grow. So you see, Microsoft's Excel, there are no endorsements yet, but he has a LinkedIn assessment badge. This means that Jeffen is really good with Excel. He has earned the LinkedIn badge, right? Which I did not. So that's a good thing. Jeffen is doing really well. Jeffen's Microsoft Word is very good. He has an endorsement. He has the LinkedIn assessment badge, right? But he really needs to work more on which skill he wants to excel in, right? Let me see how many. He has more than 500 plus connections, which means he really needs to ask people to give him an endorsement, and tell him that if he's good. So right now, if I see, he's really good with flexibility to adjust and adapt, and he's really good with leadership. So this shows that as a leader, he's a really good guy. He seems to be a person who I would need in a leadership role. Because, or if I want to prepare someone for a leadership role, I would want someone with leadership endorsements and with flexibility. But I think he needs to add a few more skills like receivables, payables, planning and budgeting is there already. And Infotest Design has actually endorsed him for the skills. Let's see who this Infotest Design is. There's someone, he's a senior interior designer who has helped him do this. All right, so let's go back to his profile. And this side of skills and endorsements, as I said, it was a really important thing. So it could help all of you gain. So what you need to do is you just need to ask a few friends who are very close friends to you, who have worked with you, who are on your LinkedIn, to help you with this, right? And now let's go back and understand how we can create a network of the right people and work around with this. But before that, we will work on the recommendation side of this uh, section. So here you can see that I have received 14 endorsements and recommendations by people. So this is one of my person who I used to work with. He's a friend. He said Salman proved to be a crucial to the team and contributed significantly to the company's international business development. He has always amazed me with his business insight and unique methods to solving problems. Right? He understands complex issues when outside of his immediate area of expertise. For Salman, the client is always an important thing to do. So he wrote everything. Uh, there's another person, Asad Hanif. He says Salman is a dedicated, motivated professional who brings experience, energy, enthusiasm. Right. So it shows that who I work with. Then there is a doctor. She said that I had a privilege to work with Salman during my days in KKT. I have found him very hardworking. Blah blah blah. Then one of my lawyer friends, she wrote that Salman is undoubtedly a person with an innate talent. It's high degree of commitment, organization, and quality. Blah blah blah. And here this is another profile that I'm really working on. I have not given any uh, recommendation, but I have taken two. So one of my friends wrote, I had a pleasure of working with Salman on a couple of collaborative projects in the GCC region, and I found him to be an absolute powerhouse. His knowledge about consumer habits, blah blah blah, just telling what I can do. And then the key to his success is EQ. He's good at building rapport with clients. I'm certain that Salman will add great value to your organization if he decides to join. So this part on Mr. Jeffen's place is missing. So he does not have any recommendations that are part of his profile. So you guys need to take at least one. And to start off with, just ask friends, or you can just give out. What I did was that whenever I gave people recommendations, they wrote back, and they wrote me back. So you can always write. So see here, I wrote her and she wrote back to me. uh, there are a few others that I wrote, and then it came back to me. Just a minute, let me open. I think there's a message. All right, Alan has raised his hand. uh, Can you please tell us, Alan, if there's anything you would like to, you can write in the comment section. So the next thing is, if you can please, all of you, tell me on LinkedIn, what is that one thing that you would want to, the people that you would like to add? Who are those people? Would I mean, if you guys can actually message and write what is your goal on LinkedIn, or you can tell me who are you actually trying, what are you trying to do on LinkedIn. Can you guys please just type that in so that I can have a research or something done on that same perspective, and that it will help both of you, both of us, to grow. Anyone, can you guys please write up? All right, I think everyone is shy. So let me explain of how I do research on adding people and what I do uh, on LinkedIn. So when it comes to LinkedIn, what I will do here is that I will search for if I'm looking for a job, I will look for recruiters who are in finance. So recruiter finance, if I type, I will find people who are doing this. So there's and let's go into India and see what kind of recruiters we have there, right? So there's a finance recruiter at a finance recruiter. There's a senior executive at Deloitte. She's a finance enthusiast, right? Uh, we have an HR recruiter executive, right? Let's open it to uh, United Arab Emirates, because I'm based here. My network is from here, so India would not be a big thing. So see, Monica Janet is a senior recruiter and part of planning and governance. So there's a talent acquisition recruiter at AT Kearney. So HR business partner, MBA, finance, and there's a senior recruiter, finance and admin officer, right? Executive recruiter, Naukri Gulf certified advanced recruiter. So maybe let's go to his account and see how we can do. So this is maybe some person that I really wanted to work around with, because Naukri Gulf is a big website and he's a HR and finance guy and he's a certified recruiter. So it would really help me understand of what I can do. The first thing I would do is understand. He says that a person who takes a little more than his share of blame and a little less share of credit. So always focus on innovation and crazy and more crazy enough to change, which leads to beautiful destinations. Uh, he's a human resources specialist at Al Fardan Group, and he has been in human resources for some time, right? And if you're looking for uh, recruitment abroad, so this is something which you can do. So you will have a message which you cannot send because we are not on LinkedIn, as the golden sticker is not with us. So what we can do is we can click on the connect button and add a note. And as a note, I would how I would put it is that, hi Tosif, I am a growth consultant helping people grow. And I went through your profile and it seemed interesting, as you, he wrote here, he likes to take less than the share of the credit, and always focus on innovation. So I want to write that, as you like innovation, as you mentioned, you you are an ambassador to innovation. Innovation. I wanted to join your professional network. So just a simple, I did my research, I saw who the person was, I read about him, and I wrote a small compliment and I said, I want to connect you. So if you start connecting with such people and leaving a comment, this comment would leave a big impact on Tosif himself, right? He would like to add us. Yeah. So, Jeff, and connecting with people with almost same job will actually lead you to, to a point where all of you are looking into the same job and you're connected with the same people. So I rather go adding people from the other way around. So I start adding people from recruitment, right? And from recruitment, I come down to the next step, which is moving into the next site. So, for instance, uh, recruitment is one, or let's say you want to add chief financial officers, right? So, so there's so many people as chief financial officers. So this profile is actually comparatively a new one, and there's not a lot of people in it. So this is actually really going to help you, because see, there are a lot of people that I cannot see. They're in my third, and they're not in my second. So I need to create more. I need to see where I can connect more, right? So he has a skill that is financial skill, right? So I can actually look into, and I can look into areas as well. This is one. And then you can also look into companies. So let's say, uh, let's let's search for a company. Let's say we want to work for a company called, uh, we how do I put it? Let's uh, let's say we want to work for one of the biggest companies in the UAE. It's called Majid Al Futtaim, right? So I want to work for Majid Al Futtaim, and I want to see what can be done. So in Majid Al Futtaim, what I do is there are 14,230 employees, right? And I can see if which location they are in. So I want people in the UAE. I can go for those results. And in my filters, I can say exactly that I want to look into an industry that is accounting, right? So let's see how many people come up. So this is Mustafa Ibrahim. He's a general ledger accountant at Majid Al Fateh. He's a CPA candidate. This is a senior finance manager, right? And he's an accountant, senior project accountant, finance officer. And what I would do, I would not just go and connect by clicking here. I will actually go into their profile, and let's see what we write here. So sorry, I think something's wrong with my internet. Yeah. So Mr. Muhammad Hussain Nawaz is actually, uh, what he has done. He says that he's recognized as a top talent in MR and Majid Al Fatem. He has implemented quality standards. He has implemented business intelligence tools, right? Established true trust with key stakeholders. He has demonstrated he has played a key role in IPO. He has implementation of Dubai Mall. So he's written a few things about himself, and uh, he has worked in Price Water Cooper House, PwC, and let's see what he has done without that. And I'm just looking at what kind of things. So he's done a creating great first impressions. He's done a course on that, which is a nice course. IFRS, he has done, so 99 plus people have actually endorsed him on IFRS, right? And let's see what people are saying about him. So during my time with Mohammed, I worked together till date. I found him to be very efficient and blah blah blah. Mohammed would be a valuable addition to the company. Hussein Hasnan is truly dedicated. Uh, his disciplined, systematic approach, and these are a few projects that he've written. So I think this person would be the right person because he has been working with McKinsey framework, right? And he has worked on business intelligence tools. So even if I require a job, I will not go and say that I want a job, help me with a job, help me connect to something. So he won't be able to he won't be able to give us a job. That is the problem why I would recommend not connecting with the same people, because they would rather go for a job that why would they give you a job, right? It's a very competitive world. They would not want to give you a job. They would give someone more closer to them. So this is one big problem that you guys would do, that you do not uh, add the right people. So actually, I'm getting short of 5 minutes. So I'll just make it a little faster. So I'll write a note to Hasnan. I'll say, hi Hasnan, I see you have worked with multiple BI tools, business intelligence tools, and as a growth consultant, I have had the experience. I have had the uh, I've had the liberty to work on a few as well. Wouldn't wouldn't it be great that we connect and have a chat about what tools you have been using, right? So this would help us with sharing knowledge, not asking anything. Very simple thing. I'll send him the message, and that's how I'll connect. So if I start adding, so my formula, let me get back here. So uh, my formula is adding 8 people every day, spending an hour, right? So if I say that there is 8 people every day and I spend, so I'm adding 56 people in a week, and in 52 weeks, I'm adding 2,900 people, right? So it grows by that. It helps people with things. So I would recommend that you guys also work on this, and slowly it will help you grow uh, with everything. So now I think I should start with the Q&A section, and I would love to hear your things. Mr. Sabit, can you, I think one by one we can have people asking us questions live, or if they can go in the messages as well. So let's start asking questions now. Yeah, I think we need to ask questions. This is a Q&A session. If you have any questions, it would be great. Uh, the presentation and the thing has ended now. So if you guys have any questions, we have 10 minutes left, and I would love to answer all your questions. You can send in your questions in the messages section, and I would love to answer them in the next 10 minutes. Uh, is there any question? Are you guys there? If you can let us know any questions you have. We still have 9 minutes to go. Right. So, do you have any tips on resume writing? So, let me explain. Whatever I have done is actually a resume writing thing, and your LinkedIn profile is actually your resume. So, your resume is actually something that is read in 30 seconds. So you cannot go for, you should not make it a 6 page, a 7 page thing. Make the most relevant experience, 3 to 4 experiences most relevant to your job. If you are applying for a receivables job, you should have a receivables resume. And if you're applying for a payables job, you need to have a payables job. If you are just having a general accounting experience, you should have, or you can go industry specific. If you have experience in cost accounting or project management or project costing, or if you have experience in interior design, and you want to apply and you want to go and you want to excel in those specific industries, so you need to keep separate profiles or resumes for them. But the core idea starts from the title. So it's your name. So let me actually share my CV with you guys so that you can see that how I have made a resume, right? So I'm sharing this now. That will help actually uh, on sharing the resume. So this is my resume as a marketing communications expert. So in the summary, I've written I'm a thinker who embraces diverse experiences again. Then I've written my skills and abilities, what kind of skills I have, my certifications, what kind of certifications I have, and then my last 3 or 4 experiences. And then I've given back to my thing, and then I've written about my leadership, and that's it. I've written 2 things. So it's just a 2 page thing, and anyone who wants to go, it's neat and clean. I do not have a picture. I think there should be a picture. I do not have one, but I would recommend everyone else to have a picture with it. There should be a picture. This is one, right? Let me share another profile of the same thing. Now this CV is a social media digital, this is social media and digital marketing. So anyone who if I'm applying for a social media and digital marketing thing, I we can have our resume there, right? And if someone is applying for a growth strategy, so I'm a creative and growth expert, right? So I have this as a CV. The CV is the same, but it's just that I've changed a few numbers over here and I've changed a few numbers there. and it really helps things with uh, helping people, right? So understand that who I am and what I do. So your company profile, so sorry, your resume should actually always have what you are applying for. So instead of writing a objective word of what you want to do, you should think of a designation that you want to talk about. So whenever they are reading, they can actually go through that. And actually, I'm not a resume writing expert, so I wouldn't be the right person. I could help you with your LinkedIn, but I would rather recommend you going on to working with someone who's actually a content and copywriter who would help you with resume writing. So we are left with 5 minutes. Is there anything that is required? Any questions? Any other questions regarding? All right, guys. It was lovely having this session with you guys. I hope I have helped uh, somewhat or somewhere. You guys have taken 5% of what I've taught, and that would be more than enough for me as a person to help you grow. And if you have any questions or if you have anything, you can always get back to me through DCA Technologies, and we can have a one-on-one session explaining on how you can grow. So that's it. All right. Thank you so much. Lovely having you all. Wish you all the best of luck, and hopefully it has helped you. Thank you. Bye bye.